How's it going, everyone? Laughing here, and today, of course, I have my wonderful, fantastic special guest.
SunnBunn.
So, once again, welcome to the show. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about Bad Batch Episode 4. I forget the name of it. Do you remember it? The name?
Cornered.
Cornered. There we go. That makes sense. Cornered. So in the episode, basically starts off. They're in space. They're like, yep, there's a certain planet that they want to go to. I forget the name of it entirely, to be honest with you. But they're like, well, we're wanted. Our vessel's wanted, so we need to change our code. And they're also out of food, so now they have to go to a special planet, a different planet rather, Pandora. Which, if you're a fan of the Clone Wars, I think season 1, they fight on the moon of Pandora. I don't know if you remember the snow episode with the white furry guys. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that place. But the actual Pandora, not the moon, which is exciting. Kind of cool to see it. They're very pro Republic, now Empire. Basically, a bounty hunter tracks them down to try to get Omega. They kind of struggle with the bounty hunter and kind of get away. That's kind of the general kind of summary of the episode. Yeah, I mean, as a whole, what did you think of the episode? Just kind of as a whole.
Enjoyable.
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Cool.
I enjoyed it.
All right. What any specific things you want to kind of call out that you really liked?
I liked seeing Fennec.
Fennec Shand.
Yeah. That was pretty much the only highlight.
Fair enough.
The rest of it's kind of whatever for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
The whole droid shop transaction.
Yeah, that was good.
That was humorous.
I feel like they actually had a really good balance of action and humor in this episode. Like, there were some funny parts. I actually laughed a few times. So yeah, I enjoyed that for sure.
What about you?
Yeah, so I really like the action in this. Going into this episode, I wasn't really expecting that much action. And yeah, I got some really good like Star Wars Episode 2 kind of vibes where they're kind of like chasing on the Skyway. That was neat. Seeing Fennec Shand, I'll be honest, I'm kind of on the fence with her being in the episode. But I think it does open a greater opportunity, at the very least, for other bounty hunters down the line, which I think that in itself is really interesting. So, I don't know. Do you want to get into kind of that aspect of it, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. The choice of having Fennec be the one seems odd.
She looks the same as in The Mandalorian, like entirely.
Yeah.
It's like 18 years apart, and
armor,
she
the
change it up.
hairstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There should have been some sort of difference to indicate that she's like much younger at this point. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. I think they showed that she was younger by showing her more ruthless actions.
It's fair.
She made some decisions in this episode that I don't think she would have made later on, like in The Mandalorian when we see her.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I almost think I would have preferred a unknown bounty hunter, maybe, that we haven't been introduced to.
That's fair.
But I am willing to wait to see why they did this.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if this was more than just like a one-off thing. I've got a feeling she's gonna come back, but in what way? And also, she's a sniper. Crosshair's a sniper. I don't know. Could be kind of interesting. I just kind of thought of that. Maybe she learns from Crosshair.
It's safe to assume that it's the Kaminoans who have hired her, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
But at some point, she works for the Empire.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. Speaking of kind of bounty hunters, kind of two things I want to talk about. One, we didn't really talk about before the show, which I'll kind of get into, but when, like, way back when they, like, canceled Clone Wars, there was a lot of story arcs that were not finished. Story arcs that I wish were finished, like Asajj Ventress. There was really good arcs with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin talking about Ahsoka being gone. Them actually kind of more talking about it. And another one was another bounty hunter episode that kind of talked about, you know, more Boba Fett and, you know, him taking bounties, that sort of thing. Us kind of getting a good check in with him. And we never got that in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. So I think that this might be a good opportunity, especially with Fennec Shand in the episode, that we're going to see Boba Fett, potentially even other bounty hunters as well, which would be kind of cool. We kind of like that. And I think the thing that we did kind of talk about before the show is if they have Boba Fett, and I think if Boba Fett's in it, he's gonna get Omega at the end of the day. I think if we see Boba Fett, Boba Fett's nagging Omega. I think he brings her to Kamino. The Kaminoans do their clone rebellion a little bit afterwards, and Bad Batch has to go in, and they either just try to get Omega, they fight with the Kaminoans, something along those lines. So that's my feeling on it. I could be totally wrong.
I can see it going that way.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Kind of interesting. I do feel like Fennec Shand opened the door. Yeah, I wish like there was more differential between when we see her in The Mandalorian and the Bad Batch. It's like 18 years apart and like literally wearing the exact same stuff and looks, in my opinion, the exact same. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, kind of an interesting thing there. But yeah, any thoughts? Additional thoughts on that?
Not on that.
Not on that. Okay, fair enough. Do you want to talk about Wrecker?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, Wrecker, that silly guy. I hope they had a good reason for why it was so easy for Fennec to knock him out in the tunnel.
Same.
Because that was a little on the silly side. Like, she just dodged and he went into a wall.
Mm.
Now, I don't know what the gas was that was spewing out, and maybe that was something that, like, made him sleepy.
Yeah. It was still anticlimactic, though, regardless.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it.
I think they could have added 10 more seconds to the episode and made that more interesting. Yeah. Because, I don't know, like, for me, seeing Wrecker and Fennec go head-to-head, he's all bronze, little to no brains, no offense there, Wrecker. And Fennec is extremely fast and very smart, you know? Strong, too, but compared to Wrecker's gonna win that hands down. So yeah, I think that could have been a more interesting exchange. And
yeah, he should have proved more challenging in hand-to-hand combat. That didn't make sense, and especially after we just see Fennec headbutt and knock Hunter out of commission too.
Yeah. And
then it goes ahead to this, and it's like, no. Yeah. I don't believe this. She's this little lady. Well, and what?
Yeah. I feel like the exchange with her and Hunter was more realistic than her and Wrecker.
I still was a bit of a eye roller in that part. It's like, okay.
Well, we found the Bad Batch's weakness.
Headbutts,
yeah. And like, I don't know. Part of me is thinking kind of like maybe there's a reason, you know, like maybe there's a.
Is the chip that much of a, what's the word here?
Factor.
Weak point?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. It'll be interesting. They really dropped the fact that they want to like scan the chips before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Could be interesting.
Yeah. Wrecker was complaining about his head so much. Was that last episode or the episode before?
I think it was last episode.
It was a lot and excessive.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no mention of it this episode at all. I don't know, it just seems odd.
Oh, no, you're good. I'm with you on that. Do you think they could pull a Wrecker has so much head damage that his chip just randomly works?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm only asking because I've seen theories online of people saying that, and now, especially after this episode, it's like, oh, man, maybe he's just going to, like, you know, like back in the day.
Good soldier following orders?
Yeah, you know, back in the day where you had a TV that didn't work, you just kind of punched it or what have you, and then it, like, randomly worked. Maybe that's Wrecker's chip.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's goofy.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be interesting. At the end of the day, I feel.
I look forward to seeing why his head hurts, though. Other than being headbutt all the time.
Amen. Amen. All right. Let's see here. Anything else that you can think of that you're itching to talk about?
I don't think so. There wasn't any like mystery or a whole lot to dissect in this episode, I don't think. It was all pretty straightforward. And a lot of the questions I have are the questions I had last episode too. So
yeah,
those all are still standing.
I agree. One thing I wanted to mention, it's really stupid. Why doesn't anyone unlock any of their things in Star Wars? Like, ever. Oh, I'll just put my rather expensive speeder bike here. I don't need to lock it. No one will steal it. Oh, my really nice and expensive speeder over here. Man, be a horrible if a Jedi stole it, but they're so rare, you know. Why would a Jedi steal my really nice yellow speeder?
Or anyone. Yeah, it seems funny.
It's a random thing, I'll be honest. Completely kind of random, nitpicky point, but, you know, is what it is.
Why does this keep happening?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the cabbage trope.
Yeah, maybe.
My speeder!
My speeder. I love it. Oh, yeah, they should lean into that more. That's for sure. Any thoughts on where they might end up next? Or, like, what they're going to do next? No, kind of sprang that on you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know. We'll probably just follow the pattern of they're gonna look for somebody else that they know.
That's probably true.
They're just going around making social calls right now.
Yeah, well, we know Rex pops up eventually, so I'm excited for that. Like, they're like based on like the trailers and previews, there's definitely some stuff that I'm really looking forward to later on. Like, there's the whole ATTE explosion thing, and then Rex, and we haven't seen.
I'm guessing we're gonna see more of Saw soon.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because there was no mention of him at all in this episode or anything that's going on there. So I have a feeling we're gonna see more of that next episode.
Potentially, if not Saw later this season or next episode, I think we'll definitely see him in season 2. So, and he actually is kind of an interesting character because I'm happy they're kind of filling in a lot of his space. Because in the Clone Wars, very different from what we see him in Rogue One. Very kind of big change. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see his evolution. things go by with that. Yeah, that's kind of my thought process too. Is kind of say I didn't really have any idea. I was just wanted to pick your brain.
That's what I have for you.
Hey, that's good. So we're not quite halfway through the season. We're like a third of the way through the season. What are your thoughts so far in the season? Good, bad, meh, all right?
It's going good, as in it is something I would sit and watch again.
Cool.
So far.
Same.
Willingly.
Same. I think in terms of, I don't know, I feel like I love Dave Filoni. I feel like Clone Wars and Rebels, we're not going to talk about Resistance, typically have really weak season ones. I think The Mandalorian was an exception, and I think you know, getting back to more the animated side of things, I feel like this season 1 so far has been pretty strong. So happy to see a good kind of growth from Dave there, which I'm not surprised with. But yeah.
I think I would rate.
Yeah.
If we're doing a rating for this.
For you doing it for the episode? Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. What would you rate the episode? Go ahead.
7.
A 7?
Yeah, I was gonna say 6, and I was like, no, I think the humorous parts actually bump it up a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna give it a 7.5. So I don't know how.
7.25.
Yep. All right. 7 1/4. All right. I like how in general, like, I always give it a better score than you. Just slightly.
I grade harshly.
It's funny. No, it's all good. Yeah, it wasn't a bad episode. It was enjoyable. I really liked the action. Didn't move the story along though.
Yeah.
Like, yay, they made it so their transponder on their ship is different.
They can scramble their identity code.
Which is important, but
did we need a whole episode just to do that? To
justify it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it was mostly just the fact of like, oh, Fennec Shand and there's a bounty hunters after Omega. I think that was kind of the big.
Yeah, that was probably the actual point of this.
Yeah. But is what it is. But yeah, so 7, 7.5, 7 1/4 total. So out of 10, that's what we're gonna rate this one. But yeah, I don't know. Let us know down below what you guys thought of the episode. Curious to see kind of what you guys had rated. Also, where do you think they're gonna go next? I have no idea, honestly. Like, next week's episode is gonna be I don't know. It's gonna be hopefully a nice surprise. Whatever they do. So yeah, hopefully they travel some more to more planets like Pandora.
Pandora?
Pandora? No. No Avatar aliens. No. But Pandora rather. I like those references and us seeing a little bit more of the galaxy. I'm a big fan of that. So
yes.
Yeah, well, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to SunnBunn's channel, link in the description down below. And you know what, we're gonna throw her Twitch in there too. She also streams. She's streaming Pokemon Snap right now, which I think she's gonna finish up here kind of shortly. But if you want to watch her stream, but you want to get caught up, she also has full videos of all her streams. So
those are on the YouTubes.
Indeed. So check those out. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are all fantastic. Do something good for yourself. And as always, take care.